share with you the 5-year millionaire plan, how you can use 6 figures job opportunities to become a 7-figure pharmacist in 5 years or less. That's the play. Right. So this is a pharmacy contract that I found recently for $215,280. And there was also one for $200,000. Now I've gotten a contract, like an offer for $250K. So you can appreciate that this 943 and this 869 is going to be more. So how do you calculate the return on your investment should you make an investment of $20,635? And you're probably saying, like, Cavalli, that's a lot of money. And I'm saying it's not, considering if you move to Canada as a student, you have to pay the tuition to the school. They keep that money. You'll never see that money again. All you see for it is maybe a piece of paper to say, hey, I collected your $40,000, which I know people pay 40. I know somebody who paid 60,000. There's a pharmacist doing a Pharm D right now, paying 47,000 something per year to do a Pharm D. Hello? They'll give you this, they'll take the money. In addition to you paying the schools $40,000, you have to prove to the government of Canada before you move here that you have $20,635 in your bank account to pay for your expenses, your everyday expenses, right? So this $215,000 contract was for 9 months, guys. It wasn't even for a year. It was a 9 months contract that I saw in March. And so if you were to invest, let's say you were generous enough and you're like, Havali, I want to give you some money. Here's $20,000. And I said, okay, I'll help you land a 9 months contract for $215K. The return on that investment alone, 20,000 from the 215K in your first year of doing these lucrative contracts, that's going to leave you with 20,000. That's going to leave you 194,645. So would you be willing to give up $20,000 to make $195,000? Somebody give me a yes in the chat if that sounds like it's a reasonable exchange for you to give up $20,000 to make $194,000 in a year or less. Let me get a yes in the chat if you agree. If you don't agree, that's fine. That's okay. You can let me know that too. So for the first contract for 215K, we're looking at a 943% return on the investment. Is that a good return on investment? Is 943% a great return on your investment if you gave $20,000 in exchange for $200,000 for 1 year? Let me see what you guys are saying, what you're thinking. I'm seeing yes. Taibat said yes. Amazing. I think it is an amazing, I think it's an amazing return on the investment, not even in real estate. And so if you were to make $200,000, which I've seen those contracts in the market as well, again, there's gold in the land and the gold is good. The people who are telling you they're not paying pharmacists in Canada, they can only share information with you from the limited perspective that they have. If you gave up 20,635, which that's why students' lives are so hard, because they spend this amount of money and they're making minimum wage, working 24 hours per week. That's the restriction. Like, it doesn't make sense. But if you got a pharmacist contract for $200,000, then bingo, you've just made an 869% return on your investment in 1 single year. Now, would you be willing to trade $20,000 for a $200,000 contract? Let's take it up a notch. If you got a $250,000 contract and you gave up 20,635, divided by 20,635, I had to do some math over here. That's a 1,112% return on your investment if you got the $250,000 contract that I just got, thrown at me. I was like, whoo, amazing. These things are in the market. So guys, would you be willing to make those kind of investment? This is what I'm talking about. And we're talking about a system that you're leveraging where you're going in to see where those job offers are. And then you can negotiate for yourself, because we're in a seller's market right now. We're selling our services. The good book says, go borrow, go sell. You have to sell at an increase, and then you can repay that debt. 215,000, a 9 months contract. This was every day for 9 months, by the way, but you don't have to. The beauty about the system is you plug and play. You get to determine how often you work, for how many hours. You can choose if you need an assistant, you choose if you need accommodation, whatever it is that you need. I'm telling you that the gold mine that I'm leading you to allows you to make autonomous decisions for your life and your career. And yes, it will require you to be confident, but guess what? Confidence is a muscle, and it's something that you can grow. And if you hang around confident people, you will become confident. You are the product of the 5 people they tell you that you spend the most time with. So if you want to become a 7-figure, how many of you would love to become a 7-figure pharmacist? Because eventually we all get there. If you make $100,000 per year, how many years will it take you to make $1 million to become a seven-figure income earner? If you make 100,000 per year, how many years? Pop quiz, math time. How many years will it take you to become a seven-figure pharmacist? My math said will take about 10 years. So if you start making $200,000, how many years will it take you to become a seven-figure pharmacist? 5 years. Awesome. That's correct. So if you got a 250,000 contract like I got recently, how long do you think it will take you to make $1 million? 4 years. Amazing. Next pop quiz. You guys have seen the contract that I did. No, I just let you into my bank account. They're paying me $4,000 per week. I used to make that per month back in the day. But anyway, they're paying me $4,000 per week. How many weeks will I have to work to make $100,000? And mind you, I'm only working it's a regular 9 to 5. But it's not regular because I'm not getting paid regular. 25 weeks. And if there are 4 weeks in a month, how many months will it take me to make $100,000? I have some real math whizzes inside here. 6 months. There you go. If I can make $100,000 in 6 months, why do I need to go for a year to make the same amount of money, right? And if I can make $100,000 in 6 months, it means that with the same job offer, I could make $200,000 in a year. And if I make $200,000 in a year, it means that I can make $1 million in 5 years, right? So you can basically reverse engineer how much money you want to make and how quickly you want to make it. No, let's just say you take that money and you invested that money and you made wise, solid financial advice. We have a financial advisor who will be in our workshop. Just imagine how much sooner you'll be able to leave this rat race. When you get the confidence to charge, the reason many pharmacists are not able to charge high ticket and command a lot of cash is because they're unwilling to pay. Again, we don't get in life what we want, we get who we are. Until you have paid high ticket, you cannot charge high ticket because you will not have the confidence. You will not have the clear evidence file. You will not be convinced that people will pay you, that pharmacy owners will pay you. Well, they paid me. And I feel like one of the reasons they've paid me, and I didn't even go and look for that $250,000 offer. In fact, the recruiter told me that he's going to see if he could get a better opportunity for me than that. And I was like, what? They're willing to pay pharmacists more than $250,000 in a year in Canada? The same Canada where they're paying $40 per hour in Toronto? So if you're working in Toronto and you're making $40 per hour, which is a thing, by the way, I saw someone made a comment about $27 they're being offered. If you're making $40 per hour and you work 2,000 hours for the year, which is the average that people work, that's $80,000. How long do you think it's going to take them to get to that $1 million? Right. So if a recruiter, once the recruiter told me that they could potentially pay more and there are more opportunities, I'm like, count me out. I don't want that 250K. If there's more, I want more. This year is called 2020 more. I want more. And next year is 2020 thrive. Next year is the year that we're all going to thrive together. So guys, until you decide first in your mind to become a seven-figure pharmacist, you probably won't even know what you're working for. You have to take action. Success loves speed. So I'm going to encourage you guys to book a call. There's no obligation. Spend all this time with me. I appreciate your time. But let's see if it's a great fit for us to work together. You won't become a seven-figure pharmacist unless or until you know your worth and you marinate yourself in that worth. And I'm telling you, just stick with me. If you don't believe it for yourself, just borrow my belief. At least borrow my belief for a while. And when you become aware of your market value and the market potential out there, you'll never look at your license the same again. You will never see your license as just a piece of paper that you're maintaining per year. You'll see it as a wealth building tool for you and your family. This is how you get to financial flourish. This is how you get to 6 and 7 figure success, right? Sign and then negotiate those lucrative contracts. And so you guys have seen how to calculate the return on the investment, and the opportunity is now. There is a famous quote by Leonard Ravenhill. I love this quote. It says, "The opportunity of a lifetime must be seized during the lifetime of the opportunity." Now is the time. A lot of people are living with a lot of regrets. Don't be one of those people because regret is painful. There's a book, and I suggest you write this down. You can go look it up for yourself. There's a book called The Top 5 Regrets of the Dying. It was written by a nurse in a nursing home. She did a lot of interviews with people who were dying. Nobody ever regret taking a risk or taking action. Everybody regretted. The top regret was not doing what they really and truly wanted to do and living a life that was authentic to them. And with that, I will be moving into our VIP segment. I said I was going to show you the values ladder, guys, but I think for the VIPs, for the people who are still here,